Hello, my name's Cori, and I will be leading you through a 30-minute gentle yoga practice. This practice will be completely done on the floor, so you just can use a towel or a yoga mat or just lay on your carpeted floor. Let's begin on the back. Roll onto your back and extend your legs and your arms by your side. Try to have a nice long spine. Let's close the eyes just to prepare to relax. Pay attention to your breath, breathing in slowly and exhaling even more slowly. And you can keep your eyes closed or just open them and keep the gaze soft. Just lift up your hands so they're off of the floor and begin to wiggle your fingers. Maybe like you're playing a piano, one finger at a time, moving. Upper arms stay on the ground. Try changing directions. It might be a little harder to do. Takes some brain power and some coordination. And let's just drop the fingers toward the forearm and then hyperextend your hands as if you're pushing something away. Slow and methodical. Your bodies are totally at rest. The only thing that's moving are your hands, and your chest is rising from your breath. Change this to a circle, moving one direction for 3 circles, and then the other, switching direction. Now reach your arms to the ceiling and take your arms over your head. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands to the ceiling. And as you're doing this, maybe you feel your abdominal muscles start to work as you're lifting your arms up. If you feel that your back is arching off the ground, try to brace your core but keep your breath moving. Or maybe you don't take your arms quite as far. So make that range of motion smaller. Stop at the top. Let's open the arms wide toward the ground, stretching across the chest, and then lifting up. Finding a rhythm with your movement. Exhaling. Inhaling as you're opening the arms, finding a stretch across the chest, and exhaling to the ceiling. And inhaling wide, exhaling up. Take the arms over your head, bring them down around to your side, lift them up to the ceiling, and down around. Last time, inhaling, reaching up, and then exhaling around and by your side. Let's keep the arms down. Bend your knees, either both together or one at a time. Once you have both knees bent, you might need to readjust through the spine so that your back is still long and that you do not have a big arch in your lower back. So we want the back to be long, but your lower back should still have a little space between you and the floor. Just lift up one leg and lower down. Other leg. Lifting and lowering. And use your breath. Exhale as you bring that knee in. Inhale as you lower down. Exhale, feel the abdominals start to work. Inhale as you lower. In and out. I like to refer to the physical practice of yoga as fact-finding. Learning about your body, becoming aware of how the muscles contract and release and move. As you learn more about your body, you can change what you're doing day to day to help keep your body nice and tall and strong and without pain or injury. And lower this leg. Bring in one leg. Just give a gentle squeeze, pulling it toward the chest. Straighten the leg, bend, and lower to the ground. Other side. Come in, straighten, bend. Ooh, I heard some knee cracks there, and down. Let's continue this pattern. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Keep moving. So these little movements are beginning to bring the blood flow to the muscles to help them get warm, help them stretch a little bit. We're doing this safely, slowly, with intention. Let's bring both knees into the chest and curl up in a ball by lifting your chest, and your neck just kind of comes along. Drop the chin toward your chest. You're not straining the neck at all, and roll down. Exhale and come up, lifting high from the chest. You can feel your abdominals kicking in. Roll down. One more, coming up. And then rolling down. Drop your feet to the floor. Open your arms wide. And let's rock the legs side to side. And you decide how far you want to rock. So start off small. Kind of test out how's the low back and the side of the hips feel today. And as you test those waters and you want a little bit more, you can drop your legs toward the floor. And when you do that, the opposite hip comes up just a little bit off the ground. Feeling the stretch along the hip. And then come to the center. Good. Now bring in one knee in toward the chest. Straighten the leg. This time take a straight leg down toward the floor. Slide it in. Other leg. Inhale and reach. Lower down, getting length through the front of the hip, and release. One more time each leg. So we're starting to engage the leg muscles and up through the pelvis. One more time. Up, down, and release. Keep your feet on the floor. Walk them in so that your feet are close to your bottom. Hands are down on the floor. And move into a bridge pose. So we're going to lift the hips. First, tilt the pelvis. Lift up. Your head is on the floor. Lift your chin a little bit and then lower your hips down. So you don't have to go very high. The weight of your body is in your heels, your back of your shoulders, and then your head is like the kickstand. So your head's not bearing the brunt of your weight. It's just kind of there to balance you. Lifting up, you can feel the front of the hips begin to stretch and the front of the thighs. One more time, lifting up, rolling through the spine, and then coming back down. Bring both knees back into the chest. Open your arms and drop both knees to one side. And then look the other way. Allow the body to release. Let those legs feel heavy against the floor. You can use your opposite arm to put a little bit of pressure against the leg, but make sure that it's a gentle pressure. We're not forcing any stretches. Bring the knees up to the chest, and you can bring one knee at a time or both at the same time. And then take your legs the other way and turn your gaze the opposite direction of your legs. Still using slow breath, nice even breath in and out. Come to the center, one leg or both at the same time. Bring the knees toward the chest and reach for the outside part of your feet for happy baby. Flexing your feet, pulling the knees toward your armpits, and just kind of roll side to side. Feels so good on the back. And it's a bit of a silly pose, but it's happy baby pose. Babies can be silly. So maybe channel that as you're rolling around. Instead of feeling vulnerable in this pose, just try and find a little bit of joy and playfulness. It also feels so good on the back. It's like a massage. Come to the center and stop. And bring your knees in. And we're coming up to a seated position, so you have lots of options here. You can hold on to your legs and roll up, or drop your legs to the side and come up. Totally up to you. Let's sit in easy pose. Just crossing your legs, whatever's comfortable for you. Let's roll the shoulders up, back and down. And again. Good. Drop your hands down. And on the inhale, let the arms float high to the ceiling, sitting tall through your spine. Exhale, lower your arms. Inhale, feel graceful here. Exhale. Doesn't matter what you look like doing any of these poses. How does it feel in your body? Are you feeling length? Are you feeling strength? Are you open? Are you having fun? And do you feel graceful? Let's add a little twist to this. Inhale, reach. And then take your left arm to the front, twist and look behind you, behind your shoulder. Inhale, reach up. Other arm comes forward and twist. Inhale. And keep going. You don't have to go at my pace. Go at your own pace. Just make sure that you are breathing with your movements. And what we're trying to do is get this lower back warm. And be very cautious that you are not twisting from your shoulders and that you're actually twisting from your lower back. So sometimes when our low backs are really tight, we try to wrench it by forcing the shoulder. So if you can't turn very far, just go to where you can, inhaling and exhaling. Take another breath. And then let's come to the center. Breathe in and down. Now, bring your feet, soles of the feet together. This is called Badakhanasana. It's a bound angle. Some people call this butterfly. So depending on how flexible you are, you can have your feet out far away. And let's just lift knees and lower. Being very gentle as you're lowering down. So adding just a little bit of help, a little bit of effort pushing the knees toward the ground, but not forcing. Keeping your shoulders down and away from the ears. So sometimes we begin to round and arch the back and pull the shoulders up high. So it's better to just make your range of motion smaller, but try to keep the back tall. Let's hold this stretch. Maybe you lean forward a little bit. Maybe you just stay sitting upright. So just pay attention to how your back is feeling. So don't go farther than what your back tells you to do. So you'll know how far you should go. And then once you're at that discomfort level, stay and breathe. The back, come up, and let's cross the legs again. Reach your arms behind, lift the chest, lift your arms a little bit, small motion just to lift a little higher and lower. One more time. Clasping your hands if you can, and if not, just reach your arms back and lower. Bring the arms down by your side. Let's do some side stretches. So right hand on the floor, lift up your left arm, come over, look toward that hand, and then gracefully bring it down to the floor and switch. So you're moving your arms, coming up, and about halfway there, your arms pass, moving, trying to keep your hips even if you can. So as you're leaning to the one side, press the other glute, your bottom, down to the floor so it's anchored and that your legs stay level if possible. And that'll help to increase your stretch along your side and where the muscles meet down at your outer hip. Last time through. And lower your arms down. Good. Let's come to kneeling. So you're going to stand on your knees. And if this is very uncomfortable for you, you can stay seated or stand up. It might be better for you just to stand. Inhale, reach your arms up. Bring your hands together. I like to point my index finger. And then you're looking forward. Let's stretch to the side. And you're pushing both knees down to the ground. So this might be intense. And then lift to the center and go the other way. So as you're doing this, make sure you're still breathing and not holding the breath. Sometimes what happens is we get to these deeper, other side, as we get into a deeper stretch, we want to hold the breath. But actually, we really should continue breathing to help the muscles release. One more time each side. Come to the center. Bring the arms down and wide. Cactus arms, reach up, bring them down, and reach. Now you have the option of adding a little leg movement to this, so you can sit down and come back up. And if you have knee issues, just avoid doing that. But what we're trying to do is get the blood flowing a little bit. And when you sit back down on your heels, you are stretching the front of your legs and up. Can you feel your abdominals working as you are coming down to your seated position? And then again as you're coming back up. And let's hold. Once again, take the hands behind the back. Lift. I'll turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing. Again, you can reach back. Or maybe you take your arms, just hold them opposite hand to elbow, and then switch so the other arm's on top. There's always a lot of options in yoga. Release. Bring your hands down to the floor, and your hands are under your shoulders. Your knees are under your hips. So this is tabletop. Tops of the feet are to the floor. And you're looking at the ground. You're pulling in your low abdominals, your low belly. There's muscles below your belly button. Now on an inhale, push your belly down, push your hips forward and your tailbone up, and look forward, cow pose. Take a breath in, and then round the back and go into cat pose. Now you're trying to point your tailbone toward the floor. Alternate. Inhaling, looking forward. Exhaling, rounding the back. Big stretch. Keep going at your own pace. Inhaling, opening chest. Exhaling, contracting the core and stretching the back muscles. 2 more times through. One more. And round. And come to neutral. Let's thread the needle. Lift up your right arm, look toward the ceiling. So you feel a stretch along the back. You might feel a stretch across the front of the chest. Then take that arm under your other arm and drop down to your right shoulder. Your hips stay high. Apologize, my back is to you. Wrap your left arm around your back. And just let your hips rest. So this is a passive stretch. We're just resting here. You're coaxing the shoulder back. You're balancing on your knees and the side of your head. Your toes are your kickstand here. Your shoulders giving you some balance. Now take the left hand back to the floor for stability. Sweep the right hand up. Look at your hand as you sweep up and place the hand to the floor. Let's switch. Other side, reach up, look up, and then thread the needle. Come down. Wrap your arm around. Let your hips just rest there. Release the bind. Hand to floor. Gaze to your left hand. Look up. And then hand back down on the floor. Open your knees. Bring your toes together. And sit back into a child's pose. So you're letting your forehead rest on the ground. Your hands are on the floor. Your knees are wide. And it might feel good to you to just do a little tiny shift side to side. Or maybe it feels better just to sink down and rest. Do whatever works for your body today. Also recognizing that doing this exact same practice at a different time of the day or a different day of the week, it'll feel totally different. Your body changes hour to hour, day to day. So for that reason, we really don't want to have any judgment of how we're feeling. Just notice how it's feeling right now. Now slowly come up. Bring your knees under your hips. And let's move into puppy pose. You walk your hands out. Keep your hips up over your knees. And then take your arms out as if you're in your child's pose. But here your hips are up in the air. And you can feel that stretching in through the armpit, the chest, your back. Try to keep your neck long. So you might have to keep inching your forehead forward as your body gets deeper toward the ground. And then slowly come up. Roll up through the spine. Have a seat, crossing your legs in easy pose. Now let's stretch our outer hips. Take your right foot and place it on your right knee, and then your right foot. That would be a trick. Right foot onto right knee. Right foot onto left knee, and then your left knee is over your right. You're stacked. So you feel a big stretch in your hip. So maybe your leg is up higher, and maybe your leg goes the whole way flat. So let's just sit here and breathe and feel that stretch through the hips. If this is extremely intense, you can always straighten your lower leg, or you can do this in a chair. Like when you're sitting at your desk, you can just cross your leg and then lean forward. So this is called double pigeon. Getting that stretch on your hip. Maybe you roll forward a little bit. I'm not going to stay here very long. Let's just take one more deep breath here. And roll up. And then switch so your other leg is on the ground. Stack. Use your breath to let your hips release. Come forward if that's what you did on the other side. And then come up. Let's cross the leg the other way. So let's bring your left heel in toward the right side of your bottom and take your right leg up and over. And then lift through the chest and twist toward your leg, looking behind you. Release. Other side. Right heel toward left bottom. Left leg up and over. Sitting tall and then turning toward your leg. Gently looking behind you. Gentle spine twist here. I use the word gentle a lot in this practice because I really want to encourage you to be slow and methodical with your stretching and not forcing any stretches. To be kind to our bodies. We don't want injuries. We just want balance. Release. Uncross and just sit in your easy pose. From here, drop your chin down to your chest. No pressure, just letting the heaviness of the head stretch your neck. Lift up. Turn your head and look over your right shoulder. Drop the chin to the shoulder. Take your left hand and put it down on the floor. Maybe you push a little bit against the floor and you feel a big, huge stretch going up the arm, up the shoulder, and into the neck. Lift up your head. Look the other way. Release your hand to your leg. Look to the left. Drop the chin first. Right hand down to the floor. Lift your chin, look forward, hand comes back. Inhale, reach your arms up high and bring your hands down. And you can place your hands on your legs, either palms down to feel grounded or palms up to feel open. Let's just close the eyes, focus on breath for 1 minute. Staying present. Here's a great time to include an I am statement. Like, I am peaceful. I am relaxed. I am happy this is over. It's okay to have humor in yoga. We take ourselves too seriously the rest of the day. more deep breath. Open your eyes slowly. Inhale your arms up. Bring the hands together. And bring your hands down to the center of the chest. I am grateful that you practiced with me today. I wish you well, and I hope you feel nice and relaxed. You've learned some new moves, and you can incorporate this into your regular day-to-day activities. Until I see you either in person or again virtually, namaste. And namaste means the light, the love, the positive energy in me greets and honors the light, the love, and the positive energy in you. Have a beautiful day and a beautiful week. I hope to see you again soon.